So kids have all kinds of mistaken ideas about the world. Kids also embarrass parents. They say things that embarrass them. They embarrass them with their behavior out in public. If anyone has a really good story about something their kid has said, I'd love to hear it. One parent said that they were all camping at Rathtrevor, and there was a bunch of families sitting around the campfire, and one of the women was explaining she was a grandmother to 8 kids, and this woman's 4-year-old said, "Wow, you must have a huge vagina." You know, so today we're teaching kids the names of body parts, you know, and it really bites us in the butt, literally, because we go out in public and our kids are saying these kinds of things. So my story, and it is a completely true story, when Lexi was 4, we were at the Hillside Mall at the food fair, and we were making small talk with an elderly gentleman next to us. And as we left, Lexi said, "Excuse me, do you have a penis or a vagina?" And I'm just wanting to die on the spot. But he said, "Well, I've been back east, but I didn't stop in Regina." And I was just like, "Oh, thank you, Lord." You know, and he was either a little bit deaf or a very wise man. I'm not sure which. So I'm sure some of you have some similar stories. I have so many I could just do a whole night on them. You know, one more. I mean, Jared's about 10, and we're at Thrifty's. Again, I always seem to be at Thrifty's. And we're in the lineup, and he looked at me and says, "Do you have PMS?" I said, "What? Do you have PMS?" Really loudly, right? And I said, "No, Jared, why?" "Well, you're sure grumpy." And I'm like, ah. And he thought for a minute, and then he said, "Well, you must be ovulating then." Ovulating! How did he figure that one out? I mean, I didn't know what that meant until I was 40. So kids can really embarrass us with their behavior, and you know, sometimes it would just be so nice if we could throw our voice and make them say these wonderful things and behave in this lovely way where they're well-mannered and just do all these things, but they're kids, they don't, and they really don't represent us by acting like polished little well-mannered robots. I mean, they're just kids. But here's the thing, if you feel embarrassed by your kids when you're out in public, just wait a few years. When they hit about, what do you think, 12, 13, they will be embarrassed by you. They really will. And I actually took advantage of that, because if the kids started acting owly or thinking that I should buy them something that I didn't think was reasonable, I'd just start singing and dancing in the middle of the mall, and they would immediately stop acting out. So you can kind of play that one a little bit.